criminal justice, healing, education. Time to awaken the community. Good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are currently watching and or listening from. My name is Holly Sisa. I am the host of Morning Mimosas podcast, where although we love all people, we value justice, healing, and education for the Black and minorities specifically. And you guys ask why that is? Because I'm a Black and minority woman. Guys, today's episode, usually I do commercials with my episodes, but when it comes to cold cases, I don't like to do that because I want to just give you guys just the straight information on what is currently going on. In today's episode, we will be talking about Jevon Bailey of Aurora, Colorado. On December 22nd, which will be tomorrow, it'll be 9 years tomorrow, this young man was gunned down in Aurora, Colorado on East Iliff Avenue and Warren, turning into Troy Street. The circumstances surrounding this young man's passing is really, really sad. I want to make sure that you guys completely see his face. This is him. This is all about him. This young man lost his life, according to the Aurora police, due to road rage. So I'm going to show you guys the map of East Iliff Avenue and Warren Drive. So the altercation allegedly started where you guys see where it says Warren Drive and Pacific Circle. And then if you guys are paying attention, where it says East Iliff Avenue and Warren Drive, that's where the unknown assailant shot and killed Mr. Bailey on December 22nd, 2015. So, like I said, 9 years tomorrow. It's really, really sad what happened to this young man. He didn't deserve what happened to him on that day. It's really, really, it truly disturbs me that us as a people, we have all this unnecessary hostility and unnecessary anger to do something like this to another fellow human, such as what happened to Jevon. I don't really have too many words other than it was truly senseless. And this young man had his whole life ahead of him. I just can't. There's just not too many words I can say about how senseless this homicide was. He did not deserve. He didn't deserve what happened to him. But I will read a little bit of an article from CBS News that was published the day after Jevon's homicide. Unfortunately, he did pass away from his injuries, and they said the detectives investigating his death as a homicide, but they did not confirm that it was road rage. So I apologize for stating that. Other articles stated that it may have been road rage. There was another driver that was involved in the crash, but they had nothing to do with taking the life of Mr. Bailey. They say that the suspect's vehicle was following Mr. Bailey's vehicle, which was a blue Volkswagen Jetta, in the neighborhood north of the shooting scene. When Mr. Bailey stopped at the stop sign at East Warren and Iliff, the suspect's vehicles pulled alongside Mr. Bailey's Volkswagen, where the men had a verbal exchange. As Mr. Bailey pulled into the intersection, shots were fired by the unknown assailant, and one bullet struck and killed Mr. Bailey. That's when his car collided with another car on that sad day. Guys, when you take the life of someone because you guys feel some kind of way, it's just very tragic. This young man was a son, a brother, and you guys just took that from his family. He was a friend. He was so young. So young. When he died, he was 23 years old. And the impact that he had on his family will forever be impactful. I don't know how else to explain to you guys, like I said, how senseless that was. So to whomever was driving in that vehicle and got in an argument with him and decided that shooting him was the way to go, shame on you, because he didn't deserve that. Like I said, he was a son, a brother, a nephew. He was a father and a friend, and he's missed by many. There's not too much information on his life that I was able to find online. But the few details that we do know is that his funeral was held on Friday, January 8th, 2016. So about a couple weeks after the homicide. And it was a lot. But as I'm reading a lot of the tributes to him, he was truly loved. And he had the rest of his life ahead of him. His homicide disturbs me deeply because I just don't understand how arguments nowadays lead to such tragedies. Like, I remember a quote from Pops from Friday. He said, "You win some, you lose some, but you live. You live to fight another day." I just don't understand why the youngins don't understand that. They're just so quick to pull out a gun. And for what? For this young man to be taken from his child, his mother, his father, his sibling, his friends. It's just truly senseless that someone did not care enough to say, stop. Let me not continue arguing. Let me not brandish my weapon. Let me let this young man live to fight another day. But whomever this unknown assailant is, couldn't do that. What happened to him was absolutely horrendous. I'm going to read something that someone said on his, like when you're able to go and write comments after someone has passed. Someone said, "Our deepest condolences to the Bailey family. Our hearts are heavy as we are accepting the fact that he, as in Jevon Bailey, is no longer with us. He was such a kind-hearted person and made a good impact on everyone." And this was posted on Thursday, January 7th, 2016, so the day before his homegoing service. I just want to say to the people who took this man's life, why? Just why? Why did you do it? Why was it so necessary for you to have an argument with this man and for you to take his life? And not only that, but on this day, December 21st, tomorrow being the 9-year anniversary of this young man's passing, why couldn't this person sit back and tell themselves it's not worth it to take this man's life? Because that person didn't know that this man was a father, a nephew. Like that person didn't know any of that. They didn't care. They just took his life. There was no remorse because that person has been roaming free almost 9 years without a care in the world that he took Mr. Bailey's life from him. And not only that, he impacted his whole family, his whole friends. The whole community. And for the people who know what happened to him, meaning the people who took his life, what about you? Now I'm speaking from I'm speaking as a mother now. What happened to him was absolutely horrendous. He had the rest of his life ahead of him. And instead of somebody deciding to make a better choice, so this man could have had his life, someone decided to get upset, get in an argument with him, and take his life. 23 years old. And heartbreak, too. He was killed 3 days before Christmas. So that has a huge impact on the family every holiday season. Try not to cry. Absolutely horrible what happened to him. He did not deserve that. He was 23 years old when somebody decided to do this to him. Why do we kill each other? Why do we do this to each other? Why is it so necessary to do this to one another? Hmm? When his mother gave birth to him on April 3rd, 1992, she expected that she would be with her baby boy for the rest of her life. And then somebody decided that they wanted to snuff out his life. Right before Christmas. Completely senseless, y'all. That's why you hear like certain pauses from me, because it's just the senselessness of it all. Absolutely disgusting behavior on whoever took this young man's life. Now, I don't know what Mr. Bailey, I don't know what happened earlier in the day. I don't know what was going on or anything like that. Like I said, there's not too many details of, what Mr. Bailey's life was when he was younger. There's not too many details on his homicide either. I just know that there was someone that ended up crashing into Mr. Bailey's Volkswagen after he was shot. I don't know if that person may have seen something and they're not saying anything either. I don't know what the situation is, but if anyone knows anything about Mr. Bailey's homicide, I think it's time to come forward and call Crime Stoppers. You guys know me. I am very, very big on that. On December 22nd, 2015, at 10:42 a.m., Mr. Bailey was shot and killed on East Iliff Avenue and South Warren Drive in Aurora, Colorado. He was driving a blue Volkswagen Passat, and the suspect, who they believe is a African American, was driving a white sedan. Allegedly, it is due to road rage when the unknown African American male assailant took it too far and took Mr. Bailey's life. He shot him in the head. There's a lot of questions remaining when it comes to this case. But I do have the phone number up there for you guys. If you have information on this case, please call Denver Crime Stoppers. 720-913 stop, or as it is put there numerically, 720-913-7867. It's time, it's time, it's time, it's time. It's time, it's time, it's time for him to have justice. And like I said, for the man who wanted to play God and take his life, I hope every single day that you are suffering. You had no right to take that man's life. If he was alive, he'd be 32. He'd be 32. Guys, we need to live by this. Without justice, there can be no love. And I love this quote by Bell Hooks. Without justice, there can be no love. It's time. It's time, it's time, it's time. It's time for people to come forward. You can be anonymous. You can be anonymous. Call Crime Stoppers. You can call this number anonymously. It's time, it's time, it's time. Tomorrow it'll be 9 years. Do we really want it to get to 10 without the family having the truth of who took their loved one's life? No. It's time for him to get justice. He lost his life at 23 over something that shouldn't have happened in the first place. I wish I had more information on his early life. Please, my Morning Mimosa viewers, please. If you were in the Aurora, East Iliff, and Warren Drive / South Troy Street area on that winter day in 2015, if you know something, say something. Jevon Antwaine Bailey deserves justice. He did not deserve what happened to him. Rest in peace, Jevon Antwaine Bailey. We will continue to fight for you and all others who have lost their lives senselessly and unjustly. And to the family of Mr. Bailey, you guys have an ally in me. And to the Aurora police, let's get on it. Let's get this solved. There's a killer out there that was willing to shoot someone over allegedly road rage. If you were in this area that winter day in 2015, please, once again, call Crime Stoppers, 720-913-7867. 720-913-STOP. Or you can call the Aurora police too, and I will get that in their phone number specifically. But for this case, please call Crime Stoppers. You can be anonymous. Please. He deserves justice. He deserves justice. It wasn't right what happened to him. Was it right? He was 23 years old. Rest in peace, Jevon Antwaine Bailey. It's time for someone to come forward. It's time for the family to get the true healing they deserve. It's time for everyone to know who truly took this young man's life unjustly. Aurora police, we need you to get on it. And then also whoever knows something, please say something. Please cut this snitching mentality out of your head. Focus on justice, healing, and truth for the families, just as we do. Guys, this is Morning Mimosas, where we value first and foremost human life. Justice, healing, truth, and educating for the Black and minority communities. Guys, just like Dom Kennedy said in the song, please make it home safe. Until next time, see you guys later.